Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Yes, we're back, and this video is all about sharing with you my cancer journey and bringing you up to speed and letting you know the direction of the channel will be if, in fact, we go forward with things. So just know that we recently got back from being in Phoenix, Arizona. And so what I'm going to do is I've got a letter here that I wrote to everybody that had actually provided prayers, phone calls, text messages, emails, WhatsApps, even in person, that had supported us and been by our sides during this journey. So I'm just asking your grace to allow me to read it to you, because I couldn't remember all this stuff. It only took me about 3 weeks to put this letter together, so you're getting the abbreviated version. So, as many of you are aware, in February, 3 words profoundly impacted and will change my life forever. And that is, you have cancer. I can't tell you the amount of emotion that Barbara and I felt when we heard those words. It was about an 1.5-hour drive, right all the way home. So it all commenced, everything started, when I experienced difficulty in speaking. My voice would crack, sound strained, and even simple sentences became a challenge. My voice even got so low that it sounded like I was whispering. In fact, Barbara, whenever we do the blessing, Barbara was saying that she even had a difficult time hearing me during the blessing. So I scheduled an appointment here locally with an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, to find out why, in fact, was my voice so hoarse. So I need to keep on the letter because I'll get off track here. Scheduled an appointment with ENT where he assessed my condition and suggested the possibility of throat cancer. He recommended that I consult a series of oncology specialists in Guadalajara. And without hesitation, I made the appointments and underwent a comprehensive battery of medical tests. To ensure that Barbara and I received all of the necessary information, we invited a very close friend of ours. His name is Pastor John Spade. He's a retired pastor. He's about a year older than me, and we've just become very, very close friends. He wanted to drive us down for my CAT scan, and then he wanted to drive us down when we got the results. So we wanted him with us so he could also be a witness of the results of the CAT scans. So he shared with us after the doctor said I need to do a CAT scan. So John Spade drove us down for the CAT scan. And then he also drove us down. We were meeting back with my original doctor in Guadalajara. And the doctor says, you have a tumor at the base of your tongue affecting your vocal cords. Now, the reason that I really had to jump on this is because my dad actually passed away with cancer at the base of his tongue. So the doctor declared, you have cancer. Like anyone confronted with such news, I was overwhelmed with fear, anxiety, uncertainty, particularly for my wife, for Barbara. I don't know, it's just a strange feeling because I felt more for her than I did for me. I was overwhelmed with fear, anxiety, certainty, particularly for my wife. So Barbara. So we wept together throughout our 1.5-hour journey home. I was then referred to a medical oncologist in Guadalajara, who told me after seeing the results of my CAT scan that my cancer was inoperable. Now, there's a difference between a medical oncologist and a surgeon oncologist. A medical oncologist takes care of cancer by chemotherapy and radiation therapy. A surgeon oncologist goes in and takes it out surgically. This was a medical oncologist I was talking to. After seeing my CAT scan, that my cancer was inoperable and that I needed to begin aggressive chemo and radiation therapy immediately. That's 6 hours of chemo every Monday and 6 weeks, that's 6 weeks of chemo every Monday and 6 weeks of radiation Monday through Friday. This all even though a biopsy had not yet been done. So both doctors felt that what they saw with all the years of experience that they've got, that I'm dealing with cancer. And so I want to share with you, when you have chemotherapy and radiation, how it affects your body, what happens. You've got fatigue, hair loss, skin changes, nausea and vomiting, changes in bowel habits, loss of appetite, difficult eating, bladder and kidney problems, a weakened immune system, because the chemotherapy is killing not only the bad cells, but it kills the good cells too. Peripheral neuropathy, basically hands tingling, the feet, and it's difficult to stand on them. Trouble thinking and remembering, mouth sores, dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, sore throat, temporary loss of taste, coughs, shortness of breath, inflammation of the esophagus. Long-term damage can sometimes affect the heart, the lungs, and the kidneys. Memory loss, focus issues, concentration. In other words, you're dying. You're dying. So, hearing these words, I'll never forget it. Hearing these words, it's like I automatically now looked at life with a different perspective. So it changed everything. I was overwhelmed, fear, anxiety, uncertainty, and the weight of believing I was facing a life-threatening battle. That moment is what ultimately led me to seek a second opinion in the United States. So there's two ladies, a part of our channel, that both had cancer, and it was actually eradicated for them at a high cost with their bodies, and they went to MD Anderson in Houston. So that was our deciding factor, that we were going to MD Anderson in Houston. 2 months had elapsed between my initial appointment here at Lakeside and numerous appointments with doctors, specialists, and surgeons in Guadalajara. Desiring absolute certainty, I decided to travel to the United States for a second opinion at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Phoenix, Arizona. So MD Anderson Cancer Center has centers all around the country. Without going into all the detail, we decided to go to the one that's in Phoenix. Initially intended as a 1-week visit, this journey has extended significantly. We're now, I was putting this together while we were still in Phoenix. We were in our 5th week in Phoenix, Arizona. At my first doctor's appointment at MD Anderson Cancer Center, I was told that by my oncologist surgeon that my vocal cord issue had nothing to do with my cancer. So in Guadalajara, I was told that the cancer had actually metastasized to my vocal cords. And that's why the second doctor I met with had said it was inoperable because of where it's at. It's difficult to get to. He said one of the ways they do is they go into the side of the neck to get to it. It's difficult. I mean, when I was in Guadalajara and they were trying to get to it, the surgeon tried to put her finger in my tongue and get down just to feel it and such, but they weren't able to because it was in a real difficult location, the base of your tongue. And when I got told that the cancer had nothing to do with my voice, that was like, wow, because that's what I was being told in Guadalajara. That in itself was a big surprise, since that what I was told by two doctors in Guadalajara, that my voice and its condition were the cause of my cancer that had gone from the base of my tongue, metastasized to my vocal cords. After extensive testing and a second 100% thorough biopsy, I received astonishing news and revelation. You do not have cancer. Just imagine all the weight on your shoulders. I mean, you're going to die. You're dying. What made it even more gratifying was that this news was made on my 65th birthday on the 29th of April. It's difficult to put it all in words, how you feel when you've lived life for 4.5 months that you've been told you have cancer. Now, I want to share with you this. I mean, if you're not a believer, I can fully understand that this might not make a lot of sense. But there were a huge amount of people praying for me, not only from folks from the channel, but a huge number of people here locally. At church, they anointed me with oil, had people praying over me. There was something from the Catholic Church that one of our close friends took 2 candles and held it to my throat, because that was in Catholic faith, that has something to do with healing of the throat. They shared with me, and our close pastor friend shared with me, that it was a miracle. It was a miracle. There's no way that 2 highly experienced, that look at cancer every single day, that are part of an incredible company of doctors, that's all they deal with is cancer. A miracle. It's a miracle. While this outcome is beyond my gratitude, my journey has not concluded there. During our stay, medical professionals have identified additional concerns regarding my cardiovascular health, in other words, my heart, and potential neurological complications. It was shared with me that the doctor in Phoenix that told me that my cancer had nothing to do with my vocal cords, is there are 2 nerves that come out the backside of the brain that come around your neck and attach, one on the left, one on the right, kind of like stereo. And that is actually how your vocal cords work. So they were concerned that there could have been some brain things that were going on. So I went through a huge amount of all kinds of these tests. These concerns necessitated further diagnostic tests, as I mentioned. Specialists, consultations, ongoing monitoring I wore a Holter monitor, a heart monitor, for 2 weeks, including the use of a heart monitor for 2 weeks. Consequently, we have resided in the United States for over 5 weeks. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. We attended medical appointments, undergoing comprehensive examinations, and diligently working to gain comprehensive understanding of my health. So the doctor, one of my doctors, had me have 2 MRIs. I had an MRI for my neck, and I had an MRI for my brain. And what they do is there's a dye that they actually put into your veins, and then they can see what's going on. There's another test I had. It was called a no, it's the one that gave them the video of my heart. Lexi scan. It was a Lexi scan. And at that test, they put radioactive stuff in you, and they literally can look at the heart, and they look at it as a 3D model. So I had that, and that was a really interesting test, just because of what I went through to have to do the test. But the unforeseen extension has incurred substantial financial burdens. We could not believe how expensive it was being there. We had to extend lodging. Just think about this. Barbara and I made doctor's appointments with 2 doctors in Phoenix about a week and a half or so before we actually, it must have been more than that, maybe a month or so before that, before we were going to be in Phoenix to see doctors. We got there on the 6th, and our doctor's appointment started on the 8th. So we're in the doctor's office. The doctor's checking me and everything, and he said, I'm going to schedule surgery for May the 4th. Wow. I automatically started thinking, this is going to be costly. It's like, how about if we fly back to the house, fly back to Lake Chapala, and then when the surgery comes, then we fly back. But I had no idea of all the testing that was going to take place on me. So lodging, daily living expenses, eating, as well as travel and transportation costs. If you've never been to Phoenix, or you know something about Phoenix, Phoenix is like, you can drive from one end of Phoenix to the other end, and I would bet you it takes more than an hour. It's the 3rd largest city in the United States. So I was going to doctor's appointments in those 5 weeks all over the place. In fact, I think the rental car that we got when we got it had like 350 miles on it, like brand new. And when we turned in, I think I want to say there was 1,500. No, 13. It was 1,500? 1,500 miles. With all the testing. And I mean, I look back at it and it's like, why couldn't you just give me all those tests in a short period of time? But there's something I forgot. I wasn't the only one in Phoenix getting care. So, I mean, it drug out. So, yes, we lived in a hotel for 5 weeks. We had a rental car for 5 weeks. And it was expensive. We want to express our deepest gratitude to all who have financially supported us through donations and the GoFundMe page. Your contributions have made a profound and significant impact. Barbara and I want to convey that this medical journey would not have been possible without your kindness and your generous support. We will always be indebted to you. When you're staying in a hotel for 5 weeks, when you have a car, I've got a cousin, they live in Oregon, Washington, and they went to Canada for 1 week. Cost them $2,000. I've got another friend of ours that actually went to the States for, I think he said it was 8 days, cost them almost $2,500. So just think, that's a week. We had to be there for 5 weeks. It was incredible. There would have been no way for us to do what we did without your kindness and generosity. I will tell you, the prayers, the concern, the emails, the text messages, we've read them all. Comments on the video that I did last, talking about that I was diagnosed with cancer. So wanting to know, while we are immensely thankful for the no cancer diagnosis, it's imperative to acknowledge that this journey has still presented emotional and additional medical challenges, as well as unforeseen setbacks. Yes, unforeseen setbacks. The journey is not yet concluded. We anticipate returning to Phoenix within the next few months for follow-up appointments. Cardiologist has indicated that he may need to place a pacemaker into my heart. That will end up being surgically implanted. My surgeon has also discussed the surgical requirements to potentially rectify my vocal cords, and we'll know more about that hopefully here soon. So, extending our sincere gratitude for your unwavering support throughout this journey. We love and profound gratitude from Barbara and I. It's been an unbelievable journey over the last 5 months. Unbelievable. But you know what? The hand of God touched my heart and healed me. And there's still some things that we have to do. But just know that I'm so grateful. Barbara's grateful, I know too. We couldn't have done it without your help. So now, where do we go with the channel? I will be putting this video up here in the next few days. And I'm gonna be kicking the channel back into gear. I mean, I've got so many videos that I still have to produce. I mean, so we're gonna be doing that. I'll also share with you, because I know I've had a lot of people ask me about it, am I gonna be doing my tours anymore? And I want you to know that yes, I've made a decision to, instead of waiting and just doing nothing for the rest of the year, that there's a really good chance. Yeah, my dog doesn't like, they got fireworks and things going off. She doesn't like to hear that sound. I know there's those like yourself that count on the information that I disseminate and I research and I present to you about your life, living the rest of your life, and being able to look into Mexico as being your dream retirement. So we're going to kick things back into gear. Barbara's been real supportive of that too. So doing the tours, and I just want to say there are a lot of you that reached out to me for prayers, and as I've shared with you already, but there's been a lot of folks asking about my tour. So just know, I can't get back to everybody in the first day, but I'm gonna do my best. So feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do everything I can to make sure, because I'll be filling up my calendar in a place where I had just saved to find out what I was going to be doing cancer-wise. So just know, if you reach out to me, that I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you again. Thank you again. Honey, you want to say thank you too?
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you heard that. Until next time, until the next video, we'll see you there. Thank you again.